AllBall TV.
They scared, but I'm not.
They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.
Yeah. Is that CPT time? Is that an American thing? I'm tired of saying that too. I think everybody's late. So lies fed from the public. It's true. Flea, don't you dare.
I'm a prompt, punctual brother.
Mm-hmm. Got the do-rag on today, huh, boy?
Listen, man, these things gotta be safe for this weekend, man. I'm going out of town, brother. Listen, man.
I should have put that together. There's a fight this weekend. Of course, this nigga ain't gonna be here. Why would he?
You talking about?
Why would he?
Listen, what they say, black people. They say black people go to work and tell the boss what he ain't gonna do. I'm going to work tomorrow. I ain't doing shit.
No. Jack shit. You gotta say I ain't doing jack shit.
I'm getting on that flight, baby. Another versus Bud. Ooh.
Let me ask you something real quick. Did y'all watch Girlfriends back in the day?
Not really.
No.
All right, I'm sorry. Right. Continue.
It was that show and another one on BET people going crazy over. I was like, I don't get it. Why? What do you want to say about Girlfriends, please? Why you don't feel guilty?
Nothing. One of the best shows of all time. But go ahead.
How do I transition from that? We're gonna talk about Cat's girlfriend. We will.
I don't know.
Did you
figure it out? Super producer. That's what you get. That's what we get for you losing your swag. You forgot how to do this.
No,
okay.
No,
niggas feel like, we here today. We here today. You forgot how to do this.
You gotta recover from asking about girlfriends. Bad enough they trying to hit me in the streets like my wife's questioning my sexuality. You going to a Usher concert? She was like that. When I asked her, Flea, she was like,
"You going to Usher concert with Flea? Nah,
alone." That's a Chris Brown concert. She said, "Nah, man." She just changed the channel on me. Didn't even talk to me for like 10 minutes at least. Oh,
the beautiful, the lovely, the extravagant, the sexy. Miss Darlene Bryant is in the building. Darlene Bryant, good evening, baby. How you feeling?
Darlene B, what up, baby?
What up, Darlene, the queen? Of course, you know who that is. The commenters, they're upset. They all both said hi to women. Who would have thought?
Ball suckers.
The nerve.
And they go, our boy, the girlfriend's #1 fan. We live.
Big Flea. Never the little one. Tony, Joan, Maya.
Who's your favorite? Who's your favorite girlfriend, Flea?
Chill, man. Just chill. We'll talk about that later.
Nah, come on, man. See, you can't do that.
You know what? All three of them except Joan. Get Joan the fuck out of here.
Joan is with the fatty?
Joan is Diana Ross' daughter. Get her the fuck out of here. Everybody else. I love Tony, though. Tony's the airhead. She's the gold digger. She's the one who wound up marrying a Jewish nigga, wound up marrying a Jewish dude. He looked like OG, matter of fact. Pull him up. You'll be surprised.
She got the knocks.
Yeah.
I
she got the DSLs. It's crazy. Yeah. She was fire to me.
I like her.
She was fire. You see how you quiet? You see how you don't want to say? He watched it. You know the show.
I gotta see. Hopefully, throughout the show, he could bring up a picture of girlfriend. I'm dead ass. I never watched it, and I agree with you. I'm over Diana Ross' daughter. Like thirst trapping. Get out of here.
She's exactly who she is on the show. Who she is in real life is who she is.
I ain't even on the pictures, bro.
Be cool. Be cool. Be cool, OG. Be cool.
Yeah, okay.
And niggas losing their minds over her. Oh, that's Klay Thompson. Okay, I've always wondered who Ace Boogie. That's a Laker fan, right?
Yeah, it's a LeBron fanatic. Yeah, Ace Boogie. Listen, 41 days, nigga. Yeah, it's going down. We back in the building. Let's go, Fabian. Let's get this thing going.
Man, y'all know, man. 41 days. We got some news from our peoples, our brothers, those Knickerbockers. You know, when I say Knicks, you know what that means.
Knicks Rehab.
Knicks Rehab, y'all.
He's one of us got our shades.
You wanted to find something to get at me with. That's fine.
It's not just you. This guy in the middle.
Find something.
Or made me say it on the air, too. You know, he got his regular glasses. They got them other kind of glasses, the things that switch when you get inside in the room and everything.
Yeah, Big Flea got those. Big Flea got those. I said, are those sunglasses or are those prescription? What you got on? He said, yo, kid, they changing the light. I said, oh, they changing the light. Oh, I heard you. Heard you. Big Flea will be 70 in 7 days. 7-0.
Big Virgo.
I'll shout him out next week. But
so next Thursday.
7 days, September 18th. The biggest. Be 7-0.
Papa Flea, we know you watching, man. Big Flea.
He watching.
We wish you happy birthday then. Glad to see you, you know, giving us critiques from, you know. I hear about it, by the way, about Papa Flea. Don't Flea be getting at me like, yo, man. Just like we're going to get at these Knicks right now. They re-signed Landry Shamet, apparently. I'm wondering how we feeling about that, fellas. Landry Shamet, why you guys playing with me? He's a better view. Landry Shamet has signed with the Knicks for a 1-year deal to return. Coming back from next season, his agent George Langberg of GSL Sports tells ESPN Shannon stays with the Knicks for his 8th NBA season. Damn, I thought he was around the league way longer than that.
Really?
Sheesh. Yeah. I don't know why. I know he was on Phoenix.
Right.
And yeah.
About right. Because I remember when he was at Wichita State. You remember Ron Baker? Remember when we had Ron Baker, the blonde?
Yeah.
Remember Ron Baker? So you remember Ron Baker?
Yo, there's so many like Quincy Acey. I love his energy.
Clee Anthony Early.
Oh my!
I'm shouting out more Wichita State guys. Big shout out to Wichita State. Clee went to a strip club around the corner from my high school and got robbed. Y'all remember when Clee Anthony got robbed?
Yes.
Y'all remember that?
I forgot about that. That's the reason why his name kept popping up. And his name is one of the worst country bumpkin names of all time. Clee Anthony mad downfall. Mad he-bottle out here. Clee Anthony? What? You know what? You got a Clee Anthony in your family, old boy?
I don't know.
Okay.
He said, hell no.
No, I don't want to disrespect nobody because, you know, people be going crazy over that, man. And another signing, the New York Knickerbockers, they got Garrison Matthews. He joins the Knicks. He averaged 7.5 points, 39% from 3 with the Hawks last season. 4 shot attempts. He looks like somebody accountant. I'm not gonna lie, man.
You say he looks like who?
Somebody's accountant. But
how tall is he?
Isn't that 6'7"?
I thought you said he looked like Charlie.
No.
I don't know. That's why I said, who does he look like? Who does he look like? I don't.
Garrison Matthews.
Y'all let me. I'm gonna go on a rant at some point tonight. If y'all let me.
A rant about Charlie Murphy.
Don't let me.
Oh, I'm not letting. Nah, hell no, not tonight, please.
Don't let me.
Key speech was going on. Fish.
Big fish.
2 big sign. I mean, that's off the bench. These guys are shooters, big time shooters. We love the energy Shamet provided last year. It was up and down, all ball. You know, you were big on them. You called out the championship expectations. What's your reaction or response to us signing Shamet and Garrison Matthews is signed for training camp? He doesn't have the same deal as Landry Shamet.
I like excuse me. I like Shamet. Sorry, I like Shamet. I would rather us get a big man, because we have enough guards. But I think Shamet earned that spot. When he was utilized correctly, he played well. He played some defense, brought some energy off the bench, and he's a shooter. Do I love it? It's a hate-love thing. I think, like I said, we have a lot of guards. And let's not forget, Josh Hart is the guard. He's not a small forward. He's not a power forward, right? So, you know, Clarkson, Brunson, Deuce, now Shamit, Hart. So, you know, it's we still have Polick. So for me, you know, but I understand. I think out of everybody and what was left out there, Shamit was the best that was available. We definitely was gonna bring campaign back. We heard a lot of rumors. But I mean, it just makes us a little deeper. It makes us deeper at the guard position. And I'm gonna be honest, that move might be kind of for Deuce. Because sometimes Deuce drifts. Sometimes Deuce can be just as inconsistent as Bridges. So, you know, maybe this is something to back up Deuce. But I like it. I'm not in love with it, but I like it. Like I said, I think Shamit deserved that. At times, he played very well. And there was a game or two that he made a real difference. And guys like that, you put the ball in their hand, you put them in a good offense, and you just kind of let them loose balls. And listen, he belongs in the NBA. And I've always said this. You cannot have enough shooting. He can knock down a three ball. He can knock down a mid-range. So I love his energy. I love what he brings on the defensive end. So I have no problem with it. And we got him for the low. We ain't paying no real money. And it's only a year contract. And that can be used for trade bait if we decide to make another move before the trade deadline. But I have no problem with it. Just real quick for Flea Cook. The other young man, I mean, Flea, what we always say, damn near 40% from three. You can't sneeze at that. Right.
Need a knockdown. Right.
And he's 6'6", 6'7". So, you know, for me, it's like, can him and Shamit be battling for that spot? You know, I don't know. But both of those moves, I don't mind at all. Like I said, the guy that's 6'6", 6'7", 40% from the three, we need that bad. And then, like I said, Shamit, what he brings to the table, it feels like a safe move. I'm going to say that. Flea, you had the floor. It feels like a safe move. The Ben Simmons thing, I don't think was ever real. Then, you know, you had the Brogdons. It was just a whole bunch of names that was out there. I just think Shamit was a safe move. He's already been there. I think Shamit wants to be there. And I think he can help us out. So I like the move. I don't love it, but I get it.
Before Flea goes all ball, check your audio and see if you could click, if it says speaker, click AirPods, and the same thing for microphone, click AirPods. If you don't have it, don't worry about it. Flea, what's your reaction to Shamit and re-signing? Of course, Garrison Matthews coming from the Hawks, coming to the Knicks this year. Do you feel like AllBall, like, yo, we got to put Deuce, give him a challenge off the bench, you know, somebody else to come off the bench besides you? It's not going to be all about you.
Well, I think with the health of Mitchell Robinson, God willing, we go into the season with him healthy and ready to rock and roll. I think that already puts us back into our rightful places. And so now with the signing of Jordan Clarkson and with Josh Hart coming off the bench now, that already puts Deuce in a situation where he has to now compete for minutes. He wasn't competing for minutes with Josh Hart last year. We didn't have Clarkson in the fold. And so Deuce knew when Tibbs looked down at that bench, he knew that he was one of the first or second guys he was looking at to come off the bench. So just these moves alone and then bringing Landry Shamet back in, I'm sure that puts a little pressure on Deuce. But what Deuce brings, just in terms of youth, defense, athleticism, sneaky athleticism, I don't think that is going to put him in a position where Shamet is going to play above him. I think Deuce is more of a Mike Brown guy than Landry Shamet is. But I do like the fact that there seems to be a relationship between Landry Shamet and the New York Knicks. If y'all forget, last season started and Shamet was hurt. He started the season hurt, and we stuck with him. We allowed him to rehab. He had one of the similar injuries that Julius had, right? So we stuck with him, and he was able to come back and produce for us down the stretch and played well in the playoffs, right? So I agree with OG. It's a safe move. It's definitely a safe move. Maybe a cheap move too, right? Some of these other guys may have demanded a couple of more dollars. A Malik Beasley would have demanded a couple more dollars. A Malcolm Brogdon would have demanded a couple more dollars. I would have much rather us bolster the big man position or possibly go out and get another wing off the bench. I don't know if Dadier is ready to contribute for us this upcoming season. But, man, if y'all look at it, and you don't have to be a Knicks fan if you're just being honest and straight up, we have one of the best 9-man rotations in the league right now. If you look at what we're rolling out in our first 5 and you look at what we got coming off the bench, if you look at Brunson, Bridges, OG, Cat, and Mitch, with Hart, McBride, Clarkson, and Yabusele, that's as good as a 9-man rotation as you're going to get in the NBA. Obviously, there's better teams, but you can't get no better than that. And now with a Huck Porty, a Shamit, a Dadier, all of those guys now just continues to just deepen and deepen who the Knicks are. So I'm with you, OG. I'm with you, OG. I like the signing of
Fabian, real quick. I just want to ask you something because you said something that I'm not going to let that go over nobody's heads. Pause. Starting lineup. Are you sure Josh Hart's coming off the bench?
I would hope so.
Okay.
I would hope so. I would like to see Cat back at the 4 position, right? I would like to see Mitchell Robinson playing starter minutes, right? We've gone through a whole summer now. There's guys that haven't even got on the court yet. We just seeing Embiid get back on the court. We just seeing, certain guys get cleared for on-court reps. Mitchell Robinson actually played in playoff series. He played down the stretch. So, we should be putting him in a position to start, which then puts us in a position to have a deeper bench. So, to answer your question, I fully expect this dude to be coming off the bench, Josh Hart.
Just real quick, Fabian, I apologize. This is why I was saying I wanted Al Horford, right? Because if we starting Mitch and Cat, who's the backup center? When we know Mitch is kind of injury prone. So now who's when Mitch goes to the bench or when Cat goes to the bench, who's going to be the guy to back those guys up?
Forget about Yabusele. Right.
I mean, okay, I was just asking. Yeah.
And quiet as kept before he hurt his knee. Huck was finding his way in the rotation.
He got another summer under his belt in training camp, in a Knicks uniform, in a professional, arena. And Landry Shamet, I'm okay with that. I think 9th, 10th guy off the bench, and then to have a guy like that who's ready to go, I think it shows a lot. Like when you look, we always talk about going to work, and you just got guys that are always trying to be ready, always busybodies, and then you could be replaced with someone like that just off consistency, just being ready to work. Like you saying, Deuce McBride might lose his spot. Even if that's not the case, even if you're wrong, AllBall, I like the fact that Deuce McBride has to even think about that. Like, this guy might take my minutes. You know what I'm saying? The fact that you might have to look up, like, you got a guy behind you, Shamit, who's playing to get ready in the game in case you get too comfortable. And Josh Hart, he's never comfortable in order to take his spot. Deuce McBride should be shooting to take Josh Hart's spot because we talked about how he's going to replace. We want him to take the spot of what's the small kid from Sacramento? He can get into the passing lane. He can shoot some threes, a little bouncy, but he's very little. Oh, not Keel. No, he's smaller than
Keon Ellis?
Yes, Keon Ellis. Little athletic. Deuce, I said from when we got Mike Brown, he wants Deuce to be what Keon Ellis should be, or what he envisioned for Keon Ellis, who can shoot the 3, but he's just too inconsistent. And Deuce is a way better, more consistent defender than Keon Ellis because he can withstand that kind of the attrition of the game, just body to body. So with Shamit, we saw it last year. The other thing too is just like I love that Flea brought that up because in the summertime, just in case you forgot, he tore his shoulder up and was able to work his way back, get that contract because the contract really isn't promised supposed to come back in December. I think I forgot who we may have held it all for, but the fact that Shamit said, "Oh no, I'm going to come back," and he still was lingering sometimes. It would still hurt him. We saw Julius Randle not able to come back when he was here. That shoulder thing, especially for a shooter, it was a shooting arm, right?
I believe so.
Like that's rough. Anybody ever tore their shoulder? Rough. And just to have that energy, I like what you said, AllBall, just to keep the pressure on the Deuce McBride, because that guy is the one who was feeding, Quincy, the Quentin Grimes, all the other kids that he's looking at, and he tells them like, yo, Tibbs, when Tibbs was here, yo, you're gonna get your chance. You better be waiting. You better be ready, because when he plays you, it's like a one-shot deal. And Deuce, we always talk about it, Flea, that coming out game against Philadelphia, and they went crazy. Julius had a bad game. Brunson had a bad game, and then somehow Hardenstein hit like 8 shots in a row, little baby hooks. But Deuce, that was his coming out party, and he did that by playing defense.
He looked comfortable out there.
Yeah, in Philly,
comfortable out there.
Yeah,
right. Lifting his shot, all that.
Yeah, so he's not consistent though. Oh boy, I'll give you that. And I'm always gonna say it's weird because he does have like a great form, and Shamit, of course, seems like he's more consistent, but that's not the guy we want to rely on. That's what I'm saying. You got to be a 9th, 10th man off the bench. You battling Garrison Matthews for the 10 spot, and that's cool. That's cool because the bench players should be out there, giving you a chance to go sit and rest. And then if need be, you come in there and fill in for them. You might be one of them long lost heroes in the playoffs and all that, maybe, and definitely a weapon is in a lot of cases. You can't just leave them open. So certain set plays coming out of a timeout or whatever it is, it's not like Shamit could be ignored on a play for last second shot.
You can't leave him open, Fish. The nigga could shoot. Fuck is we talking about? He's a shooter. What the fuck are we talking about?
Yeah, 1,000,000%.
What is he career? Pull it up right now, Fabian. What is he career from 3?
Maybe 40%.
In the league today, 40% from 3 is a godsend. Thank you. We'll take it.
But you know what else?
His career, he is 38.5%. The most he ever shot was 42 his rookie. 45% with the Clippers. That was for a short stint. But 38.5%.
For a guy that may play 10 to 15 minutes, maybe.
That's good in any era, though. Like, I'm tired of hearing that shit, too. Like, they don't shoot that much better from 3. I don't see that happening. I just see it like that's
35% back in the day was elite level 3-point shooting. Anything over 35, bro. I'm not.
It was average.
Go look. We're talking about league average.
Yeah,
we're not talking about the best of the best shooters. We're not talking about Del Curry, Reggie Miller, Allen Houston, those guys. We're not talking about those guys. We're talking about like a level under. If you're shooting 35% from 3, like you in the 90s, you were a damn good shooter.
It was average. I think average now is 36. Go ahead, AllBall.
But for me, just real quick, I also think this move was made because, if we looking to make other moves, Deuce probably gonna have to be in that deal. So it's like, okay, we lose Deuce, at least we got Shamit. Like, still don't think we're done. I mean, let's just say a package comes up, so it's like, yo, we got to go for it. Certain guys are going to have to be in that package. So I think that was also a move. And I'm not saying Shamit is just as good as Deuce, but let's be realistic. If Shamit, with the Clippers, Shamit was solid. Like, when guys get the minutes, when guys get the shot, when guys, get the confidence. So for me, I just think this move was also just in case we have to make a big move and Deuce may have to be in that type of trade. We still got a guy that is kind of similar to Deuce. Maybe not as good, not as athletic, but I think it was for that reason as well.
Presently constructed, you don't like our team, OG?
I love it. Okay. I love it. But let's be realistic. If we have an opportunity to get Giannis, if we have an opportunity to go after Kawhi, remember, this is just speculation. Team. How I feel. I think last season we should have went to the finals. This season we made the proper changes. Y'all know the coach thing. We ain't gonna go through all that, but that was a big change for me. We got some help on the bench. Mitchell Robinson is fully healthy starting in the beginning of the season. So I love our team. But like you always say, Flea, if we have an opportunity to upgrade, and why not do it? So I just feel it's going to come a time where, if we got to make another move, at least we have the pieces to where, if it's a Carmelo Anthony type trade, we don't give up the house to where we left with nothing. That's all I'm saying. So for me, even if it's a small trade, where it don't have to be that Giannis type caliber player, but what if it's a caliber type player where Deuce may have to be in the trade, something like that. You get what I'm saying? So
yeah, I don't think it would be a bad idea, Fabian, for us to, if there is something that comes down the pike and Deuce is part of the deal, or they ask for Deuce. I don't think Deuce McBride is a guy that holds up a deal, right? Especially for an impact player. Deuce is great in his role right now. What he is as an NBA player right now is great. I feel like he's going to continue to get better. But if there are things on the table, whatever they may be, we could speculate all day long. But I don't think Deuce McBride should hold up a deal for a guy that's going to come in and make a major impact. With all that said, like I said, I still like our 9-man rotation when the season starts.
I do, but I like what AllBall said with that, because if it's the right fit, like we always talk about, Deuce can't hold that up. Like if it's, the Carmelo, the superstar, like that's obvious. Giannis deal, like Deuce gotta go. But of course, it depends on who's there. But also having a rotation like this with Mike Brown, all we've ever talked about after the playoffs, all everybody's talking about is the copycat shit. That all of a sudden we went from copying Boston to now we're copying the Pacers and the OKC Thunder. We want all 9-10-man rotation. Like it makes sense also to have Garrison Matthews there with Deuce McBride for all that. And it also makes sense to go search some Google stats up. Like in the 1970s, in the 1990s, the league average from 3-point range was 36 to 37%. In the 2000s, it was 35 to 36%. And in 2010s, it doesn't have it there, but they're saying from 2022 to 2024, the league average is from 35 to 36%. So it's pretty much all the same, no matter what era Flea.
But what number did I say? Okay.
So you said
you can make it 3 days in a row. You can make it 3 days in a row. You can if you want to.
Or you can
if you're a real nigga, you could do 3 days in a row. If you're a real nigga.
I don't fall for pressure. So number one. Number two.
I would never expect you to perform under pressure. Cool. Never. I'm looking you off at with 5 seconds left.
I'm stripping
you.
Stripping you after the game. Taking your girl and all that.
Go deep in the corner. Go deep in the corner. Go deep in the corner, Ray. I got you.
Speaking of pressure, big pressure, big weekend. You see the thumbnail. Oh, man. Oh, my. Come on, man. Big fight. Canelo Alvarez, Bud Crawford, Terrence Bud Crawford, former big-time champions. And we got a special guest in the building from In This Corner Boxing 24. Our guy, the real Ant-Man. What we talking about right now? Ant from In This Corner Boxing, my brother. How are you doing?
Peace and blessings, y'all. How y'all doing?
First of all, hold on. I got to answer him first. The fact that your microphone sounds like that, these guys know I'm elated. Go talk to your man AllBall about something. Go fix his microphone, please. And what's going on?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How y'all doing?
Y'all can see him?
Yeah.
All right, yeah. I mean, I can see him now.
Yeah. How y'all doing?
Chilling. We amped up for this fight, man. 2 more days.
Yes, sir.
Canelo Alvarez and our guy, Terrence Bud Crawford. 2 big fights. Let's talk about it, man, because if we being real, boxing is coming back. It's coming back. Floyd was holding it down for a long time, and now all of a sudden we got these Dana Whites involved. Conor McGregor jumped in here. We got Tank fighting Jake Paul YouTubers. We'll get to that in a second, and I definitely want to ask you about that. But
okay,
let's talk about this upcoming fight with Canelo and Terrence Crawford. What's your feelings on the matchup, and maybe give us an answer on who you think is going to win?
So, listen, man, I've been going back and forth with people on YouTube for weeks now. Even people with the big platforms, with the big channels, Dante's Boxing Nation, all these type of dudes, because they posting different videos and saying different things. One thing I like to do, I don't have a big platform. I'm still new to this, but I tell the truth though, and I deal with the facts. You know what I mean? That gives me credibility,
Right.
Because I got to be credible when I'm being looked at and when I'm not being looked at. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm a Bud fan and I'm a Canelo fan. I like both of them. But I got to be honest, I knew about Canelo, or I like Canelo before I like Bud. I really wasn't rocking with Bud when he was at 135. I started learning about him as he was leaving 135, going to 140, just to be honest, right? So I've known about him for a while. If you remember, I was one of the only ones on YouTube that said he was going to beat Errol Spence, and in the fashion that he did. Besides, only thing I didn't say was he was going to knock him down 3 times. I didn't know that, but I knew he was going to stop him, right? And I said that. I was one of the very few that said that. Now, when we come to Canelo, though, the energy, everything that happened with Errol Spence, that's not going to work with Canelo. Canelo's a different beast. You know what I'm saying? And so what I think is going to happen, I mean, I could think of different scenarios, but my prediction is Canelo by late knockout. That's my prediction. Now, I could be wrong, but that's my prediction.
Hold on, Ant. I want Flea to ask you a question because I got something to say. But Flea, that's my brother Ant. Ant, this my brother Flea. We all family here. Flea, whatever you want to ask him. Like I told you, his basketball knowledge, I mean his boxing knowledge, he loved it like how we love basketball. So feel free, because I'm gonna say some shit.
Yeah, no, I'm just happy. I'm happy for him to be here.
Thank you.
Little disappointed about the hat that he has on right now, but we ain't even got to go there. He's family, so it's love. It's love. It's love.
Yo, hey, don't worry about it. I'm disappointed in his hat. What's he doing with a Yankee hat? Queens, man.
Like I said, we are New York all across the board. We leave it like that, right?
No doubt.
Yeah, for sure. No doubt, man. But with Canelo, 60 plus wins, right? 2 losses, I think 2 draws, something like that. And then you got Bud, who's undefeated, 41-0, right? 40-0, something like that.
41-0, 31 knockout.
Okay, so I got two-part question for you.
Right.
Who's the more experienced fighter, in your opinion? And then the other side of that question is, who's the win? Who's more important? Who's this more important for?
So the more experienced fighter is Canelo, because Canelo turned pro when he was 15, 16 years old.
Okay.
So he's the more experienced fighter. Canelo got 67 fights under his belt. Bud got 41. So he don't have a lot of wear and tear on him, Canelo, because he ain't really been beat down in 67 fights. But when you going through 67 fights of getting prepared for a fight, training, sparring, running, working out, I mean, it takes a toll, right? So I think he missed, he's lost a little bit of what he had, of course. That's just natural. But who it affects more? Or how did you say it? Say it again.
Well, who's this fight bigger for? Right?
Who's it bigger for?
Who comes out the victor? Who is it bigger for?
I think it's bigger. Wow, that's kind of hard because it's big for Bud because he's coming up 3 divisions and he's trying to be undisputed again. But it's also big for Canelo because he don't want to let a little man that came from 135 come to 168 and dominate him. So it's really big for both. It's big for both.
Man, listen, all y'all up here being political. Let me get to what I got to get to. Hold on.
Okay.
Canelo, I like Bud. This is my guy, and we argue a lot about boxing, right?
Okay. Yep.
Floyd Mayweather said, yeah, I'm going there, and I want to hear y'all response. Floyd Mayweather said when he fought Canelo, easy work. Let me finish. Floyd was 36-37. Canelo was 23. Canelo already had 40-something fights.
43, yeah.
Right. So, miss me, like Floyd said, If I was that age and had 40-something fights, nobody would tell me I was too young, I was inexperienced, and none of that. Y'all were telling me now, and let's not forget, we watched these fights together. Triple G got jerked out of one of those fights.
I don't agree with that.
Okay, we had that another talk. We had that discussion. I think he did, right?
Who got jerked?
Triple G got jerked out of one of them fights.
The first one.
Gennady Golovkin.
Yeah, Triple G. I just wanted to hear who you was talking.
I say the first one.
My point is this. Floyd Mayweather said easy work.
He did.
Why Bud Crawford doesn't have a chance to beat Canelo Alvarez?
I didn't say he don't have a shot.
Don't give him a chance.
No, I didn't say he don't have a shot. You asked me my prediction. I was asked what's my prediction, and I gave it. I didn't say, but he definitely got a shot. He has a hell of a shot. Let me say this: the same way Floyd said that was easy work 12 years ago, when they asked Canelo yesterday, when Max Kellerman asked him, when he was asked about the fight, he said his trainer was asked about the fight, and he said easy work. That's when the fight was signed. That was 3 months ago. He said easy work. And when they asked him 2 days ago about the outcome, he said Canelo by KO. He said he ain't seen Canelo looking like this in years.
Oh.
So what you got to understand is, right, Bud is motivated to be another undisputed at another division, but Canelo's motivated because he's not trying to let this little dude knock him off the block. So he's super motivated too. He got a chip on his shoulder too.
And real quick, you made mention, and to be honest, I'm a novice boxing talker, right? I watch boxing. I've seen thousands of fights, right? But in terms of just talking it and being able to spar with you, I ain't gonna do that. I want to get educated right now. So help me understand how huge of a jump it is to go from 135 to one. You said 168.
168.
How big is that jump from a boxing perspective? What does that take? I know how to gain weight. I go eat, right? But from an athlete, from a supreme athlete's perspective, how do they accomplish that?
Well, here's the thing. If you look at fighters like Roberto Duran started out as a lightweight. Roberto Duran came all the way up to light heavyweight, right? Middleweight, light heavyweight. But guess what? He did it gradually. He never jumped a division or two, or definitely not three. He did it gradually. And even when Sugar Ray did it with Marvin Hagler, when he jumped, people say, oh, he jumped from 147 to 160. That's 2 divisions, but he had a fight at 154. So he was a little comfortable. And Sugar Ray Leonard is Sugar Ray Leonard. He's a legend. Not taking anything away from Bud, but Sugar Ray Leonard is who he is. So the hard part is this, right? If every fighter could fight at their walk-around weight, then that's what would be happening, right? But guess what? That's not happening because it's not easy. So if every fighter was fighting if I was walking around at 175 and I was fighting at light heavyweight, I probably wouldn't get the results that I would get as if I was fighting at 147 or 154. You see what I'm saying? So for him to come from 147, not 154, because he only had one fight at 154, so you can't call him a super welterweight. So he's really coming from 147. He's been off a year, and now you're going to 168, and you're fighting a champion. You ain't fighting a contender to see what you're working with. You're going for the top guy. It don't go like that.
Okay.
It don't go like that.
Do you think that jump? Because as soon as you said that, I thought of Roy Jones when he jumped to heavyweight. I know he might have dabbled in light heavyweight before he jumped to John Ruiz. He might have had a fight like that, if I'm not mistaken. But he
was light heavyweight. He was light heavyweight.
Oh, right.
Yeah, he was.
But it still felt like that was the last time we saw Roy Jones. And it wasn't even that fight. It was the fight before that. We thought that was the best Roy Jones we ever saw. And that jump, it took away from him, from our Superman. Do you think that's what you feel with Bud Crawford? Because you sound like you want to give him a chance, obviously, because he's a great fighter and he's skilled, super skilled. But do you see that that's the ultimate deterrent is two weight classes, and Canelo is a super duper at his weight class?
My thing is this, man. Again, if I was in his corner, I would have said, listen, Bud, I know you want to be great. But guess what? Do it incrementally. Do it in stages. Go to 154, have a fight or two, then have a fight at 160, and then see, right? But you going straight for 160. He don't know yet. See, he could say he's 1,000% ready, like he's been saying. I'm 1,000% ready. I'm gonna knock him out. His trainer saying they're gonna run through him. He's gonna run upside Canelo's head. You could say that, but you don't know yet how you're gonna feel in the ring. You don't know if your speed is gonna be there. You don't know if you're gonna be slow. You don't know if you're gonna be able to throw the punches you want to throw. You don't know your reaction time because you haven't fought at that weight. You got to remember. Bud walks around, he said, at 175, 180, but you've been fighting at 147. It's going to be a difference fighting because he got to come in the ring. You figure he's going to come in at least 160, 162. Now, depending on how many pounds he rehydrates, if he comes in at 170, 175, I don't think that's going to work for him because he's not used to it. Whereas Canelo, he's the champion. He's used to it. He's going to be good.
What would that do to him? What would that do?
It'll slow him down. It'll slow him down. His reaction time will be different. And if I'm thinking how Canelo is thinking, Canelo probably gonna come out from the first round. He's gonna jump right on him. He's gonna test him. He's not gonna lay back. He's gonna test him from the first round. Okay, let me see what you got.
Hey, how important is this match for the sport of boxing Saturday night? As we all see and watch, boxing is starting to turn into wrestling. Right? So just quick, if you could answer that. How huge is this match? And can this go down as history, as one of the greats, as we've seen from, you going back to Garris or Muhammad Ali, the great fights he had, even Pacquiao, Mayweather, it's just so many great fights. Hearns and them guys, and like you said, Sugar Ray. Can this be one of those? And how important is this fight for the sport?
This fight is very, very important, man, for the sport. You got two undefeated, undisputed champions fighting. This is very big. And Turkey, you got to give him the props because he's the one that's making these guys that don't want to fight. He's telling them either you're going to fight or you're going over there. It's a process of elimination with him. Like, he wants the big fights. He wants the fighters that deserve it. If you want to fight this guy, you've been calling him out, okay, I'm going to put it together. And they putting the money behind it, and they making this fight. So this fight right here with Canelo, because Canelo is the cash cow. You know what I mean? He's Floyd now. He's in that position. So to put him with remember, Bud was with Top Rank for 10 years, man, and a little over 10 years, and he, Top Rank didn't treat him right. He didn't really make no money. He didn't make the money he should have made. So now that he broke out from Terrence, and we talked about that. Now that he left Bob Arum, now he started seeing some money. And now with this fight here, he really breaks through. So it's a big fight, man, for boxing. I don't really like the involvement too much of Dana White, but they partners, so gonna have to deal with that.
Yo, and do me a favor, just X out real quick and jump back, hit the same link, because the mic for me is kind of choppy.
So I want to hear back in.
Yeah, please, because I want to hear what you got to say. Like I got more to talk about with this.
Okay, I'm gonna go out.
All right. So man.
Anybody, man, this guy, man, that's family to all of us, man. In this corner, Boxing 24. Listen, follow his platform and support him, man. His boxing knowledge is crazy, but he loves boxing. And one thing with him, he gonna tell the truth. He ain't gonna sugarcoat nothing.
Yeah.
And like I said, this is a big weekend, man. And I don't think people understand how huge this weekend is until those two are in the ring.
For sure. It's gonna be major. It's gonna be major. Even a guy, I call myself a casual boxing fan. I watch everything. I'm gonna sit and watch everything. But the investment, the commitment the Ant has. I know OG, you love boxing. Fabian, he's Dominican, so he ain't got no choice, right? But you know what I'm saying? It's like, so I'm gonna be locked in. No matter what. I want to ask Ant though, before y'all get back in your bag. For a guy like Bud who's undefeated, right? Confidence is probably through the roof. And as a boxer, you got to be confident, right? When you going in there to box. But let's advance the conversation for a second. And if he does lose, which you predicted he is going to lose, does Bud bounce back from that? Is he the same guy after this, after a loss? Is he that one of those type of fighters that if he takes an L, he could bounce back and still be one of the best boxers in the sport? Did we lose him?
I think we lost him. We'll bring him back. All I gotta do is click the link, man. We good. Okay. It's a good question, though.
That's a great question because Canelo, he bounced back from Floyd, even though he was young. You know, the Triple G, that trilogy.
Yeah, they did 3 of them things. Yeah.
Right. But, you know, he didn't let, you know, people like us phase his psyche because some people thought he might have lost all that BS. Then he took another loss. So that's a great question, man. That's a great question. That's a damn great question.
That's why I was saying, I got fired up when you just claimed Floyd as the automatic GOAT. Because I'm watching George Foreman have legendary fights in the 70s, and then in the 90s, he's fighting Holyfield. And it's like, yo, dog, remember, he took one of the craziest ass whoopings in with the the Thriller in Manila. So that's why in boxing, we're talking about a sport that is the sport, combat sports. We're talking about going to war, real battle. Ant-Man. See if we got you in crystal clear. Give me a 1-2, Ant-Man.
1-2, 1-2.
Oh,
yes,
perfect. Beautiful.
Good.
I don't know. We was going in and out. Was you able to hear my question, Ant?
No, I didn't hear it.
Got you. I was just saying, you know, with a guy like Bud being undefeated, right? His confidence got to be high, right? You going into a boxing match, your confidence got to be high. So is Canelo's. But let's just advance the conversation for a second. If Bud does lose, because you predicted he's getting knocked out. If he does lose, is he the caliber of fighter that could bounce back from taking the L to Canelo? Is he a guy that, you know, that won't mess with his psyche as he you know, furthers his career?
I really can't answer that because it hasn't happened. He haven't lost, so we really don't know.
Okay.
We know Canelo got a couple of losses, so we know he bounced back, but everybody don't got that. I would say he does though, but I really don't know.
Okay.
Is that a boxing mentality? Like, yo, listen, man, I ain't trying to hell. This ain't basketball, bro. This ain't root for your favorite. No, you got to get tried and tested in this ring. Once you get hit, what Mike Tyson said, everybody got a plan.
Right, and that's real. And that's what I'm telling people. Like, you know, again, he's not used to see when you sparring with 16-ounce gloves and headgear, and when you're sparring anyway, your sparring partner's not trying to knock you out. He's not trying to hurt you. You're just working on strategy. Now, unless you in Mayweather gym where they got the doghouse rules, where they really going at it, that's a little bit different. But still, it's headgear and it's gloves, 16-ounce gloves. But when you take off 16-ounce gloves to get into a real fight with no headgear and the gloves are 10 ounces, that's when you feeling that pop. And he ain't felt that from a 168-pounder, and definitely not from Canelo.
Yo, for the record, I didn't expect knockout, but the more you're talking, because I don't see how Crawford could jump 2 weight classes and you just as great as he is, because he's amazing. We're not talking about this ain't no like Errol Spence. I could tell him like Errol Spence, and I didn't know Errol Spence was he in a car accident or something before his fight.
Yeah, he was in a car accident.
Yeah, so I didn't know, but I just didn't like his style of fighting. It's like I forgot the big heavy. It's Anthony Joshua. He got knocked out by Ruiz, right? Right. Hated his whole personality. Like ain't nothing. The last great dude, great, not bar none is Andre Ward. Even you no longer Floyd and all that, but certain guys you could tell when they get in the ring, it's Lomachenko. I'm a little disappointed in him, but I know he has some shoulder problems. But Terrence Crawford, to me, he got the discipline that them guys got, the confidence too. So I understand what you're saying, Ant-Man, but I think Terrence Crawford should be able to bounce back, and he better, because if you get a draw or one of them fake losses, you got to get that rematch. You got to get that rematch.
I'm saying if he gets knocked out or stopped, maybe if the ref waves it off, I don't know what that would do. I would think that he would bounce back from it. But if he gets a close decision or a draw, absolutely, man, that'll be a rematch, and that'll be a mega fight again. I mean, don't get me wrong, Crawford definitely got a shot, bro. He got more than a shot than anybody to beat Canelo. Like, he's a great boxer. The best. He got better footwork than Canelo. I'll give him that. The speed is even for me because Canelo got speed. Don't get it twisted. He's fast. I think the defense is definitely Canelo, but I give the footwork and the combinations, the technique of it, I give it to Bud. But everything else I got to give to Canelo. The ring IQ is probably even, but the experience level, man, he been through 147, 154, 160, 168, even went up to 175. And people forget, even though he lost to Bivol, he beat Kovalev at 175. He stopped Kovalev at 175. You know what I mean? So people forget that.
Kovalev used to be a light heavyweight.
Kovalev was a light heavyweight. Kovalev fought Andre Ward twice.
Right. Oh, right. Exactly. Major fight.
And in the first fight, a lot of people don't want to say it. I'll say it though, and I like Andre. I like Andre Ward, but he beat Andre Ward in that first fight. He dropped him in the third round, and he was popping on Andre Ward. Andre Ward never really recovered from that. He beat Andre Ward. They gave him a decision. The second fight, Andre Ward put it together, but he beat him in that first fight.
I'm gonna go rewatch that Kovalev Andre Ward.
Yeah, go watch the first fight.
I'll go rewatch that first.
That's not the Ghost Man, and what? That's not him.
Sergey Kovalev?
Yeah.
No.
I think when somebody else, the Ghost Man.
What did they call Kovalev? The Crusher. What did they call him?
The Crusher. Right.
Yeah. The Crusher.
Yes.
Yeah. All this, but I kind of got a different take from you, Ant, this weekend. I think Buck Crawford is going to win. I think he's going to win by decision.
Okay.
I think Bud is the better fighter. I like Canelo. Canelo's been a great fighter for I don't know how long now. Superstars, like you can't deny that. But
right.
I just think Terrence Crawford is the better fighter, and I think this is his time. I think he's catching Canelo at the right time. Now, if this was 3, maybe 4, 5 years ago, then I would probably have a different mindset or a different opinion. But I think Bud, I think he's going to beat him. I really do. And I think this fight Saturday, I don't think people understand how big this fight is. People is not going to understand until those two are in the ring being announced. Like, this is a mega fight. We haven't seen a fight like this probably since when? I can't even remember.
Yeah, you know? And the gate. Yeah, they said the gate is already third behind both Floyd's fights.
That's crazy.
Pacquiao and what you call it? It's the third highest gate. Yeah.
But no Pacquiao or De La Hoya or Pacquiao and the
UFC fight. Floyd and Pacquiao and Floyd.
Wow.
They broke records. Yeah. A nerd boxing question that you could help me because I think I'm dead wrong, but I don't remember a boxer because Canelo. I wasn't a big Canelo guy. Even when Floyd beat him, I'm like, he has no business in the ring with Floyd. But that Canelo, he almost looked like he only had 1 or 2 years in the game. Though his whole style to me changed. He's nowhere near the same boxer he was back then. And I don't remember boxers really like changing their craft. I'm talking about the way his defense, the way he ducks, everything to me is night and day compared to 15 years ago. Is that right? And have you seen other boxers, other examples that have done something like Canelo?
I'm gonna be honest, man, and all the time. And I grew up on boxing, man. Like I grew up with this, man. I got boxers in my family. I did it, myself, when I was a teenager. But I've never seen anybody transform like Canelo has transformed, man. It's like that loss, man. He took it really seriously. Like he really said, "Yo, man, I gotta get better. I gotta change." It was instant. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sure he watched it over and over and over and said, "Damn, man, I could have did this. I could have did that. I could have," you know what I mean? And he did it, man. He totally transformed. So that's why when people say, like, even Floyd, he gave Crawford. I heard he went to Crawford and gave him some advice about the fight, and he could give him advice. And Floyd's my favorite fighter. Don't get me wrong, but but again, I got my own eyes. I got my own knowledge, right? You still got to go in the ring and execute the plan. I could give you the plan. 1, 2, 3, do this, do that. But you still got to go in the ring and do it. And Canelo's not the same fighter that he fought 12 years ago. So, You know, how much will that work? Also, I'm going to say this. What Canelo did, he's very smart. What he did, he brought Boots into his camp to spar.
Yeah,
Now, they got a history already because Boots' older brother, he got 2 older brothers that box too. So Canelo sparred his older brother, Pooh, when he was getting prepared for Shane Mosley. So they already got a history with each other, but he brought in Boots. So people said, why he brought in Boots? Well, Boots is a switch hitter. Boots is young. He's strong. He's fast. He throw combinations, and he got defense. So he may not be exactly like Crawford, but he's the best look. He could give you the speed, how Crawford gonna be coming. He could give you the angles, how he gonna be moving. You know what I mean? So that was very smart, and he got some good work out of that.
So explain real quick who Boots is. I never heard of Boots. Who Boots is exactly?
So Boots, Jerron Boots Ennis was the 147-pound contender turned into champion. He's from Philadelphia. I went out to the gym. I met them. He was trying to become undisputed at 147 recently, but he couldn't get the fights. So he fought. He got the WBA belt by beating Stanionis in April in Atlantic City. I went to that fight. And then he was trying to get the other champion, Brian Norman Jr. and Mario Barrios. He couldn't get them in the ring. Barrios wound up fighting Manny Pacquiao. That shouldn't have happened because he was off for 4 years. So they let him come in and fight Barrios. And then Brian Norman Jr. went to Japan and fought a dude named Jin Sasaki. He beat him, but we don't even know nothing about the dude. So they ran from Boots. And now Boots said, hell with it. He moved up to 154. So now he's at 154. He can really make noise there. But check him out, though. He's beast.
Okay.
He's beast.
Yeah. So you're not just coming from a fan perspective, and you did this. I was listening. You did this. You got some people in your family that did this. So let me ask you this. From Bud's side, if you in Bud's corner, what is the strategy? If you in Bud's corner, you in his ear, what you telling Bud to be successful that night against Canelo?
If I'm Bud, I'm telling Bud to stay on the outside, use your reach. You got a longer reach. I think he's like 72, maybe 73, 74 in that range. He got a long reach. He got footwork. I would say stay on the outside, use your jab, throw your combinations. And I would say when Canelo try to close the distance, grab him and hold him. Grab him and hold him. Push him off, throw your shots, but you know what I'm saying? Don't let him get in, don't let him come too close where he's just loose to unleash. So that's what I would tell him, to keep his distance, and when they get in close, grab him and hold him. Try to frustrate him.
Officially, Crawford 74 inches and Canelo 70.4, something and a half, it looks like.
Yeah, 74, yeah. That's a long reach.
Real quick, Fleet, that was a great question. Let's go to the opposite. And you in Canelo's corner. Like you said, Bud is a beast. He has a chance better than anybody. What do you tell Canelo? You know, what's the strategy Canelo should have to make sure he doesn't lose this fight?
I would say to Canelo, jump on him from the first round and test him. Like, just come out strategically, like you do with your head movement, your guards up, and test him. Go to the body early. Boom, boom. See what he got. You know what I mean? And then that's when you're going to know. If he could take the shots, that's when we're going to know we got to fight. If he could take Canelo shots, then we got to fight. But if he can't take it, and he start moving around a little bit, and you're gonna see it from first, second round. But if I was Canelo, I say, man, jump right on him. Go to the body. You know what I'm saying? Throw some hooks and see what he's working with. See if he could take it.
Now, business-wise, this thing is on Netflix, and that's another reason why this is a big deal, because there wasn't really no fights available for cheap like this back in the last, since I was a kid, since the Tyson fights on Channel 2 and all that in the 80s.
Right.
So what do you think, though, of this big business, the streaming and all that, Dana White being involved, the fact that you just said Boots has people running away from him, Shakur Stevenson, I'm not mistaken, people run away from him. And
Absolutely.
We've seen people getting ducked before. We've heard, the rumors.
Absolutely.
But now with Dana White involved and everything, it's like the UFC is typically known for, if these two guys, the public want to see these two guys fight, we're going to make them fight. Do you think that may work? Or remember, boxing, you got to set up fights like you said. Terrence Crawford can't just skip to 2 weight class. You're supposed to, setting that up. Do you prefer one over the other, or what do you think about that?
Do I prefer one over the other as far as what?
Like the UFC approach, where these are the 2 hot guys we want to see box and get in the ring, throw them in there.
Oh yeah, I like that. That's what Turkey's doing. That's what they're doing. Yeah, I love that because these guys, you shouldn't be able to duck. If you got a belt, you should have to defend that belt. You shouldn't be able to be off for 3-4 years like Manny Pacquiao. I don't care what kind of legend he is, and come back and fight a champion. And you got dudes there waiting to fight the champion that got a belt too. Like that shouldn't happen.
That might be too cartoonish WWF style too. Like the old guy came from retirement and Pacquiao been in the Philippines forever. And you jump in here just because you had a big name. That ain't right. Yo, that ain't right, Flea. Come on, man. Like, yo, man, you the president or some shit like that. Go be the king of wherever you at. So I feel you with that. But we should be looking at the pound for pound ranking and then going, okay, you guys are in the same weight class, similar weight class. What's up? The same thing AllBall be saying. Yo, everybody ducking Michael Beasley from a one-on-one. This is the most one-on-one you could get in
this
boxing.
Is what you So let me say, remember, Boots, when he was at welterweight, he was ranked #1 in the IBF to fight Errol Spence. He never got to fight. This was before him and Crawford. And then he was ranked in the WBO, which Crawford was a champion of, and he was ranked #1 to fight Terrence Crawford. He never got that fight. So there's something interesting I just found out earlier today. So there's another boxer, middleweight boxer. His name is Yolenis Hernandez. He's a middleweight Cuban boxer. Nice. I didn't even know nothing about him until I saw him fight Kyrone Davis, and he whipped him. And Kyrone Davis fought Canelo before, right? No, pardon me. He fought Benavidez. He lost to Benavidez, but he put up a good fight. This dude Hernandez whipped him, right? And I'm like, yo, this dude is like a big Floyd type. Like he could box his ass off, right? So he was in the camp with Boots and Canelo sparring. And he got to spar with Boots. And they interviewed him. And he said that Boots got more power than Canelo. He said, I felt his power more than I felt Canelo's power. So now I'm saying this for a reason, because again, Boots was ranked to get going back to what we just talked about, he was ranked to get them fights, and people said, nah, he can't do nothing with Crawford. He can't do nothing with Spence. But I said, I knew that Boots was the real deal. He could beat both of them, right? I felt like Crawford was like, nah, I'm not messing with him. And I knew Spence definitely wasn't trying to mess with him. So now the other thing about that is I got into it earlier with the Dante's Boxing Nation dude. Me and him had a back and forth because he put up a video about it, but then he tried to say that Canelo fought John Ryder and John Ryder was giving Canelo problems. I said, but my man, Canelo broke his nose, he knocked him down, and the dude said he was bleeding through his mouth. He never did that before. So how, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, he put up a fight, but he got beat down. So he was trying to use that to say, well, if Boots could hit like that, he's stronger than Canelo or got more power, because there's a difference, right? Power and strength. Right. So he tried to say, well, he got more power than, and if Bud got power, then maybe Bud could hurt him and Canelo can't hurt him. But it don't go like that. It don't go like that. He tried to flip it. But it don't mean, he didn't say Canelo can't pop. He just said Boots got more power.
Right.
Just like Madrimov said, Crawford got more power than Virgil Ortiz, but he said Virgil Ortiz was stronger, but he felt Bud's punches more. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, it's just, every fight is different.
Strength sounds like you can't get them up off you. They could grab you. Power is that punch.
Yeah, because power is like strength with speed.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what power is.
I think this fight this weekend is major for Bud Crawford. I think Canelo's. I think he cements it already, especially being Mexican. A lot of people have him up there as one of the best Mexican fighters ever.
I got him as the best.
You would have
Right.
to.
See what I'm saying?
I got him as the best.
But I think Buck Crawford, I think this fight, this what makes or breaks him. I think
It does.
he wins this fight. You're gonna talk about him like people talk about Floyd Mayweather, Sugar Ray Leonard. You're gonna have to. But if he loses this fight, and if he loses it in a certain way, I think this will probably be his last fight. So I think this fight is way more important to Bud than to Canelo. Yeah, Flea, I really think if he loses this fight in a certain fashion, I think he retires.
So
yeah, but see, that goes back to go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
No, I just wanted to ask, and this is for OG and for Ant. So we just talked about who Bud is. We've been talking about him for the last half hour. So you telling me if he loses, he's just gonna hang up the gloves and won't even get into the ring again? I can't see that from a guy like that.
He shouldn't. He shouldn't. Because listen, man, Canelo he lost to Floyd. I mean, it looked like he couldn't even touch Floyd. I mean, he got humiliated.
Yes.
He got humiliated. And look how he bounced back. So,
yeah, but remember, hold on, Andrew, I'll let you finish. The key word was I said, if he loses in a certain fashion. Now, if it's a good fight,
I get it.
And it's a draw, or let's say Canelo win, but it goes to the wire, and he loses by decision, but we all going, yo, that was a great fight. Then you have the rematch. But if Canelo does what Ant says he's going to do, I'm being honest, I think with the payday and with, people already talking about Bud, how they talking about him, I think he might be done after that.
But there's got to be a difference between bouncing back at 23 and bouncing back at 38, 37.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it has to be a difference. I mean, boxing is a different sport, obviously, than football, basketball, baseball, all that type of shit. But it's still a strenuous sport. It's still a one-on-one sport. So,
yes, sir.
At 23 and 38, the bounce back is different, right? Or am I looking at that wrong?
No, you're right. It's definitely a different bounce back. And that's another thing, right? People got to see, so you got that on both sides. You got Canelo been fighting for 20 years, but then you got Bud is a few years older. So people say, well, what if Canelo get old because that on Saturday? What if he get old that night? But I say, well, it's possible, but Bud could get old too because he's older. And he got some wear and tear on him as well. So it could go either way. But we won't know until they get in the ring. We just got to see. But yeah, I think if Bud gets knocked out, I can't say that he should quit either because, again, you tried to be great. You didn't. You went up to 168. Go back down to 154. I mean, he's not the only fighter. There's many fighters that have been knocked out, man. Mike Tyson got knocked out, right? By Buster Douglas. Didn't he come back?
Absolutely. We were just talking about George Foreman before when you logged off for a second. Like Foreman to me is like almost, I don't know how he's out of the GOAT conversation. I get it, but his career is just too crazy. He he stopped fighting for 10 years, whatever it was. That's too the way Miguel Cotto came back was insane. He got his face torn off. So, and that's the heart of a lion. Crawford doesn't come off to me like just he's quitting because he wants to quit. Someone like Marvin Hagler. Marvin Hagler quit because he had enough of the whole industry. Like, yo, or they say he fixed that fight. Like, yo, I'll take that. Whatever it is, they got to be some ulterior motive. I don't sense that from Crawford. He just comes off like
I don't think he'll do that either. I don't think so. I think even if he get knocked out, he'll come back and he'll fight at 154. At least that's what I think he should do. But he'll make the final decision. But I don't think he's built like that. I think he will come back.
Any other fighters you see up and coming? Oh, no, hold on. Before we let you go, we spoke a little bit about the business wise. What do you think about Tank fighting Jake Paul? Is that a ploy for him? Conor McGregor and these guys got the $100 million, but at least they came back. Conor came back and fought Khabib in the UFC. Can Tank do that and go fight Shakur? Do you see that happen, or is Tank just lost?
I don't know, man. Tank, it's crazy because people like to bring up that he was already talking about retirement before he fought Lamont Roach. But, I watched the press conference. I watched the lead up to the fight. He was talking a lot of junk. He was getting crazy with his mouth a little bit, talking about, why you bring your family, why you bring your mother and all that. And Lamont Roach responded to him. I don't buy that, you know, if he would have beat Lamont Roach and knocked him out that night, then all of that wouldn't have been talked about. But because he lost and got a draw, because he was knocked down and got a break, you know what I mean? Now it's, oh man, let me go ahead and fight Jake Paul and make this money, and I'll see if I'm gonna give him a rematch. I'm not mad at him about going to make the money, but it's just the way he's doing it for me, man. That dude deserves a rematch and then go fight Jake Paul.
Your thoughts on Shakur Stevenson, and why I ask about that is because, like Fabian said, and I have some conversations with some other guys, it seems like people don't want to fight him, right? Mm-hmm. And it doesn't, for me, it doesn't come off as ducking. It just comes off as, I just don't want to fight that kid. How do you see that? Are cats ducking him, or do people feel like he's not as great of a boxer for me to even jump in there with him to give him what he wants?
Nah, Shakur is one of the best boxers ever, one of the best defensive fighters ever. You could say that right now. I'll say he's in the top 3 of best defense, or definitely top 5 of best defensive fighters ever. Yeah, he's been ducked. Kambosos ducked him. Isaac Cruz ducked him. Teofimo is ducking him right now. They're trying to make that fight
right now. Yeah,
you know what I mean. So yeah, he's definitely ducked. He's definitely ducked because he's a boxer and he could humiliate you. He could make you look bad. And he just showed with the fight in July with Zepeda, and I was at that fight as well. He showed that he could stay on the ropes, use his defense, and still beat the brakes off you. And then come in the middle of the ring, do it, and go back and forth is what he did. I think he didn't have to do as much of that, but he was just trying to prove that he could do it. But yeah, he's a great boxer, man. Great boxer. And yeah, they duck him.
Even Tank?
Even Tank. He don't really, because listen, what Lamont Roach did to him, bro, and really what he did was he laid a blueprint on how to fight Tank, right? So now dudes is like, and let's be honest, nobody was running from Tank anyway.
Right.
As hard of a puncher he is, nobody was running from him. Nobody was ducking him. Everybody was trying to fight him. You could say it for the money, whatever, but they still was willing to get into the ring and fight him. So now that Lamont Roach did what he did, and he boxed him like that, now everybody's like, yo, I'll fight that dude. So, yeah.
They smelling some food out there, and that's what anybody want to eat.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
That's our guy, Ant-Man, in this corner boxing, 24.
Yes,
you heard
sir.
him. Canelo knockout victory over Bud Crawford. I'm quoting you correct?
Yes, sir.
Late rounds. What you said? Did you give a round, Ant, or you just said late rounds?
I'm gonna say between 8. I'm gonna say between 8 and 12. I was saying maybe an early stoppage because I think Canelo gonna jump on him quick. I believe he said between 6 and 7. So I'm gonna say between 9 and 12.
You heard the man, the expert himself in this corner boxing.
And listen, let me say this, right? Listen, I make, and I'm saying this very humbly, man, because God is in control of everything. I'm not in control of anything, man. And he is the one that directs my life. So I'm going to say this, right? I can make all the predictions I want. I've been wrong in some fights, but not many. I'm going to be honest. I'm usually on point. So if I am wrong, I'll get back on here and we'll talk about it. And I'll say, yo, Bud is a great fighter and he is who he is. I'm not a hater. Mm-hmm. If Bud wins the fight, I'm not going to be mad. But I just think that the weight is going to be an issue. And the technique of Canelo, the experience, I think all that's going to play a part. And I just think he's not going to be able to last for 12 rounds.
Well, and from in his corner boxing 24. Tap into his channel, his YouTube channel, in this corner boxing 24. Come on, man. It's all day, everyday boxing news.
Yes,
Flea,
sir.
my guy. What we doing out here? We back, baby. You ain't got to yell at me today, Flea.
I ain't gonna yell at you today, baby. Yo, and it was a pleasure, man. Thank you so much for being here.
Likewise, my brother. Likewise.
Yes, sir.
Big Flea. Peace and blessings.
Those are our drops, and we think we cool out here in these streets, man. He said enough of this guy. Oh, he's still here.
Well,
yeah,
no,
heard me. Oh, good. He's still here. But that was just me doing my
Yeah.
drops, man. Because you said I'll apologize if I'm wrong and stuff like that. And I'm listening to you. I'm like, damn, that sucks. Because I'm always right. Flea knows it.
That's what he thinks. That's what he thinks. Man. That's what
because
thinks.
Because people are gonna come. They're gonna come at me. I already know. If I'm prepared for anything. Like I said, I'm confident in what I said, but I'm prepared because anything could happen. Bro, it could be. Listen, it could be a punch that he don't see. It could be anything, bro. Anything could happen in a fight. We just don't know. So again, if it happens, I'll get back on and say, listen, man, but was the better man? Because that's really what it boils down to. The better man is going to win the fight.
A fighter's a fighter.
Yeah.
Tori B, we see you, but we got to run next Tuesday, 8 p.m. But we got some things in the works in this corner boxing 2-4 by God. And you know that's Flea. AllBall says bye, guys. Have a great evening. Hope he's feeling better, Flea. Tell him what I told him off the air, Flea. Remind him, text him, please.
I was on his heels.
Thank you.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Tuesday, where y'all watching the fight at? Where y'all watching the fight at?
My crib.
Okay.
Where you watching the fight?
I'm gonna be at the crib. Go ask OG where he watching the fight at. AllBall gonna be right out there. Shit.
Oh, so we got to preview that too. Saturday on IG. You're gonna do another one when you guys are gonna talk to everybody on Instagram. We're coming back up with that. Yeah, come on, man. Tap into the Instagram. The link is in the chat. Jump on there. Listen, man. We're gonna come back with the reaction to that on Tuesday night. Of course, some of our football reactions. See if there's any Knicks news, NBA news. We all out here, baby. AllBall TV. Have a great weekend, y'all. AllBall TV. They scared, but I'm not. They don't like comentario.
Y suscribe.